Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. SCO must be more flexible and adaptable, says External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar in Moscow, proposes English to be the official language of the SCO. National Investigation Agency secures 10-day custody of Omarun Nabi's aide, Jasir Bilal Wani, active co-conspirator in the Delhi car blast probe. Calm but tense Bangladesh under tight security as Awami League calls for nationwide total shutdown after Hasina verdict. And US lawmakers set for vote on Epstein files after Trump reversed his stance following bipartisan push and calls from survivors. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar delivered his remarks at SCO Council of Heads of Government meeting in Moscow. Extending support to SCO's reform-oriented agenda, Jaishankar said that SCO must be more flexible and more adaptable. He also said that long-delayed decision to make English as an official language of SCO must be prioritized.
India strongly supports its reform-oriented agenda. We welcome centers addressing challenges such as organized crime, drug trafficking, and cybersecurity. As the organization becomes more diverse, the SCO must be more flexible and more adaptable. To this end, the long-delayed decision to make English an official language of the SCO must be prioritized. Colleagues, Excellencies, we all recognize that the SCO must keep up with contemporary changes.
Noting that SCO was founded to combat three evils, including terrorism, separatism and extremism, Jaishankar stressed that the world must display zero tolerance towards terrorism.
We must never forget that the SCO was founded to combat the three evils of terrorism, separatism and extremism. These threats have become even more serious in the years that have passed. It is imperative that the world display zero tolerance towards terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. There can be no justification, no looking away, and no whitewashing. As India has demonstrated, we have the right to defend our people against terrorism and will exercise it.
And for more on the story, DD India's Jessica Taneja joins us from New Delhi. Jessica, if you could run us through the key areas of modernization that Jaishankar has proposed for SCO to adapt to global challenges.
Well, to begin with, the External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, pointed out that English should also be made the official language. It has been Russian and Chinese, Mandarin particularly, since its foundation, and this is what India had been, pushing for as well, in a sense where the English also sort of becomes the focus. Apart from the rapid modernization efforts that India wants to advance, it is also to conclude many free trade agreements as well as a special strategic partnership, economic partnership that it already has with Russia and with China as well. You saw the meeting of Prime Minister Narendra Modi with the Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping in Tianjin in September. That was one of the crucial meetings where both the countries had met. And with Dr. S. Jaishankar's address to the SCO's summit today also highlights the fact that India is moving towards ensuring trade routes and also looking at the global economic turbulence that the world is witnessing right now, and where India positions itself in terms of various other projects, and not to forget the international North-South transportation corridor that has been in the works for a very long time and has been on India's agenda for the many SEO summits that both Dr. S. Jaishankar and his predecessors, along with the Prime Minister and his predecessors, have attended. And this is something they have been working towards. So look at various other economic cooperations as well, especially talk about digitization and the issue of terrorism and counter-terrorism. India saw a car bomb blast in the capital, New Delhi, where Dr. S. Jaishankar also pointed out that the SEO forum and its foundation needs to focus on the three evils, which is extremism, terrorism, that needs to be sort of worked upon in the coming future. So talking about the overall address of Dr. S. Jaishankar, apart from the rapid modernization efforts that India wants to advance and move forward with, this particular part of highlighting the fact that anti-terrorism and counter-terrorism efforts need to be ramped up given the kind of dire state of security concerns seen in the neighborhood.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jessica, for that analysis. Jessica Taneja reporting from New Delhi. Moving on to updates on the Delhi car blast case. A Delhi court sent co-accused Jasir Bilal Wani alias Danish to 10-day National Investigation Agency's custody. Wani, an active co-conspirator of the suicide bomber Umarun Nabi, linked to the Red Fort car blast. A resident of Kazigund in Anantnag, Wani was arrested in Srinagar on Monday for allegedly providing technical support for carrying out terror attacks by modifying drones and attempting to make rockets ahead of the bomb blast, the agency mentioned in a statement. In a statement on Monday, the NIA termed Wani an active co-conspirator behind the attack who worked closely with Umarun Nabi to plan the terror carnage. On Monday, the court also remanded Amir Rashid Ali, a key accused in the case, to NIA custody for 10 days. At COP30 in Belém, Brazil, India has called for developed countries to reach net zero earlier and deliver climate finance in trillions. Environment, Forest and Climate Change Minister Bhupender Yadav said that the summit should be a COP of implementation and delivery on promises.
India has urged developed countries to demonstrate greater climate ambition and honor their commitments while delivering national statement at COP30 in Belém, Brazil. Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change Bhupender Yadav called for COP30 to be remembered as a COP of implementation and a COP of delivery on promises. The minister conveyed India's appreciation to the government and people of Brazil for hosting COP30 in the heart of Amazon.
Under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, India has demonstrated successfully that development and environmental stewardship can advance in tandem. India's emission intensity has declined by over 36% since 2005. India's non-fossil fuel-based energy capacity, currently around 256 gigawatt, accounts for more than half of its total electric installed capacity. An NDC target achieved 5 years ahead of this schedule. Initiatives such as the International Solar Alliance and Global Biofuel Alliance have become global platform for performing affordable and clean energy.
India's Minister Bhupendra Yadav also addressed the high-level ministerial segment on the International Big Cat Alliance COP30. He called for renewed global cooperation to protect big cat species and their habitats as part of integrated climate and biodiversity action. Bhupendra Yadav also met UK Secretary of State for Energy Security and Net Zero, Edward Miliband, on the sidelines of the COP30 summit and discussed various issues related to climate. He highlighted the need for collaboration on climate resilience, particularly in vulnerable regions. As many as 18 industries and research institutions from India and Sweden will soon initiate projects involving value creation. Addressing the lead IT industry leaders roundtable, Bhupendra Yadav underscored India's commitment to collaborative, technology-driven and sustainable industrial transitions under the Paris Agreement. COP30 host Brazil on Monday extended negotiations into the night at the UN climate talks as they push for a rapid compromise among countries very much at deep odds. Bureau Report, DD India.
Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal said on Tuesday that India-United States relations are strategic, enduring and continuously growing, with negotiations for a fair, balanced bilateral trade agreement in advanced stages. Addressing the 22nd Indo-United States Economic Summit, Piyush Goyal emphasized defense cooperation, rising exports and India's deep tech innovation drive towards becoming a developed nation by 2047. The Indian minister stressed that no pause exists in the partnership and any trade deal must remain equitable while safeguarding India's national interests.
The story of Indo-American partnership can best be described as two trusted partners working together for the shared prosperity not only of both countries but of the entire world. The US also shares a strong bond with India. They see India as a trusted partner. We are both equally committed to working to expand trade and commerce between the two countries. And when the deal becomes fair, equitable, balanced,
President Draupadi Murmu on Tuesday conferred the 6th National Water Awards at Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi, honouring individuals, institutions and states for exceptional work in water conservation and management. A total of 46 winners across 10 categories received the prestigious awards aimed at encouraging sustainable water practices in line with the government's vision of a Jal Samriddh Bharat. Take a look at this report for more.
At New Delhi's Vigyan Bhavan, the country's highest office honoured the nation's finest water champions on Tuesday. President Draupadi Murmu presented the 6th National Water Award celebrating outstanding contributions in rejuvenating rivers, conserving groundwater, promoting efficient irrigation and innovating in community water management. This year, 46 winners, including joint winners across 10 categories, were selected from 751 applications received through the National Awards portal. The awards recognize excellence in fields ranging from state-level governance to grassroots innovation.
हमारे देश में जल का 80% उपयोग कृषि क्षेत्रों में होता है। इसीलिए कृषि क्षेत्र में जल के सक्षम उपयोग पर सबसे अधिक जोर देने की आवश्यकता है। निरंतर इनोवेशंस करते रहने की आवश्यकता है। जनशक्ति के बल पर ही जल शक्ति का संचयन और संरक्षण किया जा सकता है।
In the category of Best State, Maharashtra secured the first prize, followed by Gujarat and Haryana. The awards also honoured top performers in districts, village panchayats, schools, industries, water user associations, institutions, civil society groups and individuals driving change in the water sector. Among the standout categories, village panchayats were recognized for pioneering rainwater harvesting and groundwater recharge. Urban local bodies were awarded for transforming wastewater management, while schools and colleges showcased innovative awareness campaigns. Industries received honors for cutting down water usage through recycling and modern treatment technologies. The awards also celebrated civil society organizations and individual water warriors, from grassroots activists reviving local water bodies to innovators developing low-cost solutions for rural water scarcity. The Ministry of Jal Shakti has been presenting the National Water Awards since 2018 to promote a mass movement for water conservation. This year's winners reflect how community participation, science-based tools, and traditional knowledge together can build a water-secure future. Bureau Report, DD India.
Union Minister Kiran Rijiju on Tuesday attended the National Conference 2025. The conference was organized on the theme Dharti Aba Birsa Munda, Philosophical Foundations of Resistance and Cultural Revival, 150 Years of Tribal Assertion in Modern India. During the event, India's Minister Kiran Rijiju said that the nation must remember and honor those who inspired and fought for country's freedom. Rajdhani College of University of Delhi, in collaboration with Chhatra Kalyan Nyas, organized the event. The conference was also attended by Delhi Education Minister Ashish Sood. The event was sponsored by the Indian Council of Philosophical Research.
देश को, समाज को आगे ले जाना है तो हमको जिन्होंने प्रेरित किया, जिसके वजह से हम यहाँ खड़े हैं, उनके बारे में हम नहीं जान करके हम आगे कैसे चलेंगे। लेकिन जिनके वजह से इस देश में ताकत आए और जिसके वजह से हमको आज़ादी मिली, उनको हम भूलना नहीं चाहिए। इसलिए जनजाति गौरव दिवस 15 नवंबर को घोषणा तहत जनजाति गौरव दिवस मनाना शुरू किया और इस बार तो 150 गांठ वर्ष 150th एनिवर्सरी है भगवान बिरसा मुंडा का जयंती का।
Importance of quality becomes paramount in military as it is proportional to the confidence of soldier in the battlefield, and hence there's a lot of focus on advancing defence excellence through quality assurance. DD India's Vishal Barrister spoke exclusively to DG, Directorate General of Quality Assurance, DGQA, N. Manoharan.
We are discussing advanced defense excellence through quality assurance, and I have with me the DG of DGQA, N. Manoharan. Let's talk to him and find out.
DGQA is playing a key role in developing the Indian defense system with more confidence. Basically, this advancing defense excellence through quality assurance is a basic aspect on which every product's confidence is built.
So you've launched a portal also for the private sector. How has been the response as far as testing facilities are concerned?
Yeah, testing facilities, the response from for the testing facilities are very huge, and since we have launched last time that defense testing portal where all the test facilities have come up, and also we have done a lot of gap analysis and what all the additional test facilities which are needed, which we are improving upon, and we are developing further test facilities also.
So there is a saying that the confidence of a soldier in the battlefield is conditional, and it all depends on the quality of the weapons.
Yes.
So when we talk about the private sector, how has been the response and what is their contribution in it?
Yes, private sector, there are a lot of enthusiasm in the private sector. They are also striving very hard to come up with a very quality and reliable product. This is the transition phase where the technologies have to, most of the technologies we are dependent on the outside the country, but the technologies are coming up. R&D activities are improving upon in the private industries, and design and development is very fastly coming up.
There you hear the DGQA. He is very much optimistic about the role of private sector, and at the same time India is on the right track as far as achieving self-reliance by 2047 in the defense sector. With cameraman Vimlesh in Delhi, this is Vishal Barrister for DD India.
Bangladesh on Tuesday remained calm but tense as security forces kept a tight grip on the streets across major cities following the Awami League's call for a nationwide total shutdown to protest the death sentence handed down to its chief and former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. No incident of violence was reported, while traffic in Dhaka and other major cities stayed thin and public movement was limited amid fears of possible unrest following Monday's high-profile verdict. Authorities kept security cordons in parts of the capital, while checkpoints and barricades remain in place. Hasina's Awami League party, in a statement posted on social media on Monday, called for a nationwide total shutdown on Tuesday in protest against Hasina's verdict. It has also called for nationwide demonstrations, protests and resistance from November 19th to 21st. On to Europe now. After visiting France, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visited the Spanish Parliament on Tuesday as part of his ongoing European tour. Zelensky was greeted by Parliament Speaker Francina Armengol and President of Spanish Senate Pedro Rollin. Zelensky is expected to meet with Spanish Defense Minister, and later he will join Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez. Further, he has planned to go to Turkey on Wednesday in an attempt to revive talks with Russia on how to end the war in Ukraine. Further, Zelensky said that he will visit Turkey on Wednesday in an attempt to revive talks with Russia on ending the conflict. Zelensky will meet his Turkish counterpart Recep Tayyip Erdogan in Ankara, where his main goal is for the Americans to re-engage in peace efforts. US Special Envoy Steve Witkoff will also visit Turkey on Wednesday to participate in planned talks on the Ukraine crisis. Meanwhile, Kremlin said that Russian representatives will not participate in talks on Ukraine and Turkey on November 19th. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov further added that President Putin was open to conversations with the US and Turkey on the results of the talks. The Republican-controlled US House of Representatives will vote on Tuesday on forcing the release of investigative files on the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, with the passage seen as all but guaranteed after President Donald Trump dropped his long-standing opposition to the move. Trump's reversal late on Sunday came days after a House petition gathered enough support to force a vote, a rare instance of House Republicans defying the president's wishes.
US lawmakers are bracing for a major showdown this week as the House prepares to vote on releasing long-sealed government files on convicted sex predator Jeffrey Epstein. The Epstein Files Transparency Act is expected to advance with a rare bipartisan backing after more than 100 Republicans joined Democrats in demanding the documents be made public. Lawmakers recently released a trove of emails obtained from Epstein's estate. In one such message, Epstein wrote that Trump spent hours with one of the victims at his house and another referred to the president as dirty. The revolt forced President Trump to reverse his opposition, saying lawmakers should vote for release, claiming he has nothing to hide.
Let the Senate look at it, let anybody look at it, but don't talk about it too much because honestly, I don't want to take it away from us. It's really a Democrat problem. The Democrats were Epstein's friends, all of them. And it's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax. And I don't want to take it away from really the greatness of what the Republican Party has accomplished over the last period of time.
The call for release of files continues to gain momentum. Many more survivors have not intensified their appeal for the same. A new video has also surfaced featuring the survivors who have urged Congress to act. Many are addressing the media directly and asking for the release of the files.
So much pain. So much pain.
So much pain. I beg you to release these files once and for all. I mean, there is no valid reason for refusing to do so. So you can't claim that it is to protect the victims. I mean, when it is the victims, myself, and the victims that have been calling for the files to be released.
If the bill clears the House, it faces a tougher path in the Senate, and Trump could still veto it, but public and political pressure for answers continues to grow. Many MAGA supporters have voiced their opposition to his stance earlier, which many believe played a part in Trump's reversal vis-a-vis the issue of the release of Epstein files. Anamika Pandey's report, TD India.
The Embassy of India in Nepal on Tuesday hosted a seminar titled The Relevance of Bhagavad Gita in Today's World. It was organized as part of the International Gita Mahotsav 2025 celebrations. Professors from Nepal Sanskrit University and Tribhuvan University offered insightful presentations on Gita's timeless wisdom and modern relevance. Students and teachers from Swami Vivekanand Cultural Center in Nepal presented cultural dance and musical performances inspired by the Bhagavad Gita, captivating the audience and enriching the celebration. On to some business news now. It's been a little over half a year that US President Donald Trump started a global trade war, levying tariffs on imports from almost every country. At the top of his list was China, but Beijing was fast to react. The country has rerouted much of its exports. Lars Holte is with Deutsche Welle and joins me from Berlin. Lars, thank you for being with us. Are you seeing more of those Chinese exports now?
Thanks for having me. Yes, definitely. China is rerouting much of its exporting business away from the United States so as not to have to pay these tariffs. And they're sending a lot more to Europe and to Germany instead. Now, we've been expecting this to happen. And a new study that just came out is merely confirming what everyone had already known. And yet, there's some interesting numbers in that report that show a direct correlation between the US instating these tariffs and Chinese goods being dumped here. A massive uptick of imports from China was first seen here in the second quarter of this year, and that is precisely after Trump had put out these tariffs. And this massive uptick is mostly felt in the car and truck sector, including, of course, car and truck parts up and down the whole value chain. Let's have a look at plug-in hybrids, for example. Chinese exports to the US are down 99%, so almost non-existent at this point. Chinese plug-in exports to Germany, meanwhile, are up 80%.
Okay, thank you very much, Lars Holter there, reporting from DW Berlin. Back in New Delhi, Finance and Corporate Affairs Minister Nirmala Sitharaman chaired the 5th pre-budget consultation meeting in New Delhi with stakeholders from the startups ecosystem in preparation for the Union Budget 2026-27. The discussions on Tuesday aimed to gather insights on fostering innovation, easing regulatory hurdles, enhancing funding access and promoting digital infrastructure to bolster India's startup landscape amid global economic challenges. That's all for this edition of DD India Live. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on our different social media handles at DD India Live. And for those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and the world on our DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja from all of us here in New Delhi. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.